So to start out your heel work, you have a big handful of treats. You put this on your dog's nose and you click and give a treat every time you click. So you're going to keep that reward frequency coming really rapidly, almost every step. When you run out, you just refill and continue. What we're just trying to get across the dog here is that the treats come from my hand and me is the thing to pay attention to, not the floor. So that's the main thing we're trying to teach the dog. If you've got a little dog, you're going to have to bend over much further. You also want to try to keep the treats level with your legs. So it's difficult because your dog's putting pressure on your hand and pushing your hand further forwards, but try to keep it level with your knees. So once you've been doing that for a little while, what you're going to do is test your dog. So you're going to interrupt your hand being on their nose and you're going to pick your hand up to your chest. When you do that, your dog will either completely tune out, get distracted, go off and do something else, sniff the floor, or they will keep looking at you. If they keep looking at you, then click and give them a treat. If when you test them by picking your hand up to your chest, they don't keep looking at you and they sniff the floor or they get distracted, that's a sign you need to do more walking around with your hand on their nose and you're not ready yet to take it away from their nose. So I'm testing Moy here. Good, she's able to still look at me with my hand on my chest. And here's the same process from the head cam perspective. So lots of treats in my hand, click, up to my chest, she's still looking at me, so I click and I go down and deliver. So I'm ready for this step because she's able to still look at me when I take my hand away from her nose. Now, one common mistake that people make when they start to take their hand off their dog's nose is they hold it where I'm gesturing now, so above the dog's nose in the air. The problem with that is the dog will jump up to try to get the treats if you hold them in that position. So never hold your hand here. The only two places that your hand should ever be at this point is on your chest, up and out of the way, or quickly down on your dog's nose, giving the treat. Don't hold it anywhere in between. So here, dog's jumping up because the treats are in the air, in between the dog's nose and me, and now they're up on my chest where they should be, or quickly down the dog's nose. So the way that we progress this is just by increasing the number of steps that we take before we click and treat and the amount of time before we click and treat. Getting to the point where we're not carrying the treats in our hand all the time, we click and then we get a treat out. So here you go, got an empty hand I'm showing you, so I click and then I get my treat out afterwards and I give it to my dog afterwards. And again, click, treat out and give it to her afterwards. And this is the head cam view, so I just click that nice eye contact and then give the treat afterwards. You might have noticed a little bit of jumping up at moments like this to get the treat. That's happening after the click, so I'm not too worried about it because any behaviour after the click I'm not as worried about as behaviour which is happening before the click. If I did want to get rid of it, I could just squat down a little bit to deliver the treat, but I won't be using the clicker in competition.